Hello, everyone. Welcome to Unfiltered and Unapologetic, the space where we heal in truth, in faith, and in softness, while honoring our culture, our bodies, and our nervous system. I'm your host, Gil-Soto, born and raised in Lawrence, Massachusetts, with roots in Bani and El Cibao. Today's episode is called Wintering for the Caribbean Soul, how Caribbean bodies learn winter, quiet, and faith. As we step into November, the air shifts, the energy changes, and if you're anything like me, raised on warmth, movement, noise, and people, you feel that shift not just in your mind, but in your body. It's not just the cold, it's the slowness, the early sunsets, the quiet that arrives before we know how to hold it. We didn't grow up with silence like this. We grew up with doors open, music playing, cousins laughing, neighbors yelling ven acá, and kitchens that never rested. We grew up in warmth, emotional warmth, spiritual warmth, community warmth. So when everything slows down, it can feel unsettling, like something is off. But nothing is wrong with you. Winter doesn't mean you're losing yourself. It means you're learning another rhythm. And if you want the science side, we talked about that in episode 6. Deficiency or disconnection. How vitamins deficiency affects your mood, energy, and faith. But today isn't about biology. Today is soul work. This is nervous system, nostalgia, faith, and the stillness that feels heavy, but also sacred. Take a deep breath, hand over your heart if you can. We're entering gently together. So let's talk about something real. There is nothing wrong with you because your energy shifts when the sun does. You're not losing discipline. You're not falling off. You're not being dramatic. You were raised in brightness, noise, movement, and people. Our nervous systems were shaped by warmth and stimulation. Food cooking, voices in the house, doors open, life happening around us. Then winter comes and the world slows down. Silence stretches, the sun disappears early, and suddenly your body goes, "What is this?" Not because you can't handle the stillness, not because stillness was never neutral for us growing up. But sometimes silence meant something was wrong, or someone was upset, or something heavy was in the air. Your body isn't failing, it's remembering. You are not weak, you're adjusting. You're learning a new rhythm without losing who you are. This season is not just about judgment. It's about curiosity, compassion, awareness, no shame, just noticing, and honoring what your nervous system has lived through. I have the first journal prompt here for you guys. Where does your body tense when the season shifts? Write it, name it, and hold it with softness. And the affirmation for this question is, I honor the parts of me that tense with change, and I soften there. There's a different kind of quiet that winter brings, not just outside, but inside. When the world slows, emotion has more space to rise. Memories surface, old patterns show themselves, loneliness feels louder, nostalgia gets tender. And if you grew up in a culture where life was always happening around you, music in the hallway, laughter in the kitchen, neighbors knocking, silence isn't neutral. Sometimes silence feels foreign, and sometimes stillness feels like abandonment. Sometimes rest feels like you're losing momentum. But hear me, slow is not being stuck. Slow is sacred. Nothing in nature blooms all year, and neither do you. Winter is a mirror, not to show you who you're failing to be, but who you're becoming. Instead of asking, why am I like this? Ask, what is this season trying to teach me? Sometimes the lesson is tenderness. It's surrender. It's remembering you don't earn rest. You deserve it. Let yourself feel. Let yourself soften. Let yourself be held by God's quiet too. I have another journal prompt here for you guys. When the world slows down, what feelings or memories rise first? And what do they need from you? And the affirmation for this question is, I don't fear slowing down. I honor what rises when life gets quiet. There's a moment every year, right when the leaves fall and the air shifts, when the world goes quiet and it does something to us. Not just mentally, spiritually, biologically, historically. Some of us come from ancestors who prayed outside, who rested under the sun, who learned from loud music playing, people talking loudly, kids running, and the kitchen with people cooking all the time. Life happening all around you, not silence. So when stillness comes, this calm that isn't always peaceful at first, it can feel like your body is fighting something invisible. Because the shift isn't just seasonal, it's identity work. Winter isn't loss, it's clarity. It shows what remains when everything gets quiet. God doesn't only speak in firestorms or breakthroughs. He also speaks in the hush, in the pause, in the exhale. And for a lot of us, quiet used to mean danger. Silence meant tension. Stillness meant something bad is about to happen. So now when life slows, your body reacts like it's going back into time. Not weakness, a pattern. And here's the spiritual truth. God doesn't rush seeds. You're not stuck. You're rooting. Winter is womb energy, not grave energy. It's gestation, preparation, protection. If summer is praise, winter is prayer. If summer is celebration, winter is listening. If summer is blooming, winter is surrender. Trust. Faith in what cannot be seen. And maybe this year, winter is asking less of your hustle and more of your heart. More presence, more honesty, more divine self-regulation. The kind that says, I don't abandon myself in silence. I meet God there. Maybe God wants to reintroduce you to rest, not as a collapse, but as holy discipline. You don't bloom every season, and neither does the earth. Let the quiet hold you. Let the surrender soften you. Let this season reteach you who you are when you're not performing, producing, or proving. You're not losing yourself. You're remembering yourself. I have a journal prompt here for you guys. What part of you still fears rest? And what truth is God trying to plant there instead? And the affirmation for this question is, I am safe to slow down. God meets me in the quiet, and I grow even when I can't see it yet. There's a difference between darkness and quiet, between heaviness and stillness, between sinking and softening. Sometimes our bodies struggle in winter, and sometimes our spirits just aren't used to slowing down. We don't pathologize every emotion here. We don't label every quiet season as a crisis. We don't drag ourselves for not being high vibe or productive every second. Sometimes you're not depressed, you're decompressing. Sometimes you're not shutting down, you're shedding stimulation you were never built to carry year round. Sometimes you're not breaking, you're being rebuilt in silence. There is real seasonal depression. Let's honor that. The body needs light, the mind needs warmth, the nervous system needs safety cues, but there's also a spiritual truth. Not every heaviness is harm. Some heaviness is grounding. Not every pause is punishment. Sometimes it's God creating space for you to breathe differently. We come from cultures where stillness wasn't always safe, where slowing down meant falling behind, where quiet meant tension. So yes, winter can trigger old alarms, but this season is not here to swallow you. It might be here to soften you, to humble your nervous system into knowing you are safe even when the world gets quiet, to teach your body that your spirit already knows. Silence is not abandonment. It can be communion. I have another journal prompt here for you guys. When you feel low in winter, is your soul asking for help or simply asking for slowness? And the affirmation for this question is, I don't fear the quiet seasons. I meet myself and God there. Winter asks us to change how we care for ourselves, not from fear, but from awareness, from tenderness, from respect for the nervous system God designed. We can't expect island-wired bodies to thrive on fluorescent light, cold air, isolation, and rushing. That's not weakness. That's biology, ancestry, and spirit. So instead of forcing ourselves into winter like machines, we nourish ourselves like humans. This season needs warmth that isn't just heat. It's care, presence, kindness, not hustle survival energy, but soft strength. Here are some options for emotional and nervous system nourishment. Sunlight in the morning, even 10 minutes by a window. Warm meals with flavor, comfort, and color. Movement that feels like your body, not punishment. Walking, stretching, swaying, dancing dembo, low energy in your kitchen if you need to. Real connection, calls, voice notes, eye contact, and softness. Touch, hugs, self-massage, holding your own arms when no one's around. Laughter, the kind that wakes the inner child. Not forcing high energy, honoring true energy. Here are some options for spiritual nourishment. Morning light with prayer. Let God and warmth hit you at once. Candlelights at night. Sacred, not sad. Worship playlists that feel like exhale. Quiet talks with God instead of fix me now prayers. Gratitude for small warmths. Tea, blankets, and a beam of sun across your face. Not trying to be perfect, but trying to be present. And here's some cultural nourishment. Some days healing isn't just journaling and reflecting. Sometimes it's having warm soup with lemon, with some bread and butter on the side, a phone call with a family member, soft music in the background, and remembering where you came from. Warmth is not a temperature, it's a lifestyle, a remembering. You don't just get through winter. You build warmth from the inside like your ancestors built community. I have a journal prompt here for you guys. What daily ritual, emotional, physical, spiritual, or cultural brings you warmth in a way that nothing else does? And the affirmation for this question is, I treat my body like a home, not a project. I give myself warmth, not war. There's a difference between surviving winter and learning winter. Anybody can clench their teeth and wait for spring. But healing asks for something deeper. To not disappear in the cold, but adapt without abandoning yourself. Caribbean bodies weren't built to shrink. We were made for sun, rhythm, community, storytelling, laughter that shakes the soul, closeness, presence, sabor. So winter isn't just a season. It's a translation. A conversation between where you come from and where you are now. It's learning that stillness doesn't erase your fire. Quiet doesn't erase your power. Slowness doesn't erase your magic. You don't lose your island in the snow. You carry it into it. There is a version of you who learns to hold warmth inside your own chest, who doesn't panic when the world slows down, who doesn't confuse peace with emptiness or rest with weakness. Growth looks like regulating instead of bracing, breathing instead of bracing, choosing softness instead of shutdown. Winter fluency is knowing I can soften without collapsing. I can rest without disappearing. I can slow down without losing momentum. Strength is not always the roar. Sometimes it's the quiet trust that says, my spirit still burns here. Even in the cold, I carry sun in my bones. And that is resilience. That's nervous system safety. And that's God confidence, not self-panic. I have the last journal prompt here for you guys. Where in your life do you confuse stillness with failure? And what truth are you ready to practice instead? And the affirmations for this question is, I don't shrink for winter. I expand inward. My warmth lives in me. I am safe slowing down. If you take anything from today, let it be this. Winter is not a punishment, it's a teacher. A mirror, a womb, a pause where God whispers, I'm still here and so are you. Some of us grew up thinking rest was dangerous, quiet was suspicious, and slowing down meant you'd be forgotten or left behind. But peace isn't abandonment, stillness isn't disappearance, and rest is not repression. Rest is reconnection. You are not losing yourself this season. You are returning to yourself differently. You don't have to push through winter like you're battling for breath. You can coexist with it. You can learn it, and you can hold both. The Caribbean sun in your bones and the northern cold outside your window. You are allowed to build warmth slowly, to honor the pace your nervous system asks for, to carry your culture inside your chest, to be both soft and steady, both island and winter, both faith and stillness. And on the days you feel the cold a little sharper, remember, warmth was never a location. It is who you are. You don't wait for the sun. You become the sun. And I have some homework here for you guys. Write your winter plan. Not for survival, but for sacred warmth. A light source, warm food ritual, movement that soothes, not punishes, spiritual ritual that grounds you, connection ritual that reminds you you're not alone. This is not escape, this is preparation. This is devotion to your nervous system, your spirit, and your story. And now let's do a prayer. So put your hand on your chest and let's take a deep breath. And exhale. God, warm my spirit when the sky runs cold. Teach me that quiet is not danger. It is invitation. Let rest be my protection, not my fear. Wrap me in peace the way sunlight wraps skin. And remind me that I never lose my light. I carry it. Amen. Thank you so much for being here, for slowing down with me, and choosing softness today. If this episode spoke to you, if it held you in any way, please share it with someone you love. Leave a review, send it to a friend, post it, text it, however you move energy, move it. And if you haven't yet, go listen to the vitamin deficiency episode I mentioned early on. It pairs beautifully with this one. And that's episode 6, just an FYI. Think of that episode as the body, and this one is the soul. Remember, rest isn't you falling behind. It's you returning to yourself. You are learning winter, not losing your fire. Your body remembers warmth and your spirit carries light. I am grateful you are walking this healing journey with me. And if you want to support the show, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, share the episode. You can also find the link to my blank journals and the Buzzsprout link to support the show in the show notes. See you next week, and remember, you don't wait for the sun. You are the sun. I'll see you in the next episode.